182 days in. 182 is the flux capacitor, as in the device that makes time travel possible in Back to the Future. And dare I say it, something like that is what's making a big part of the awakening possible, with timelines, with redemption, with winding the clock back and forward, and all things quantum, all things atonement. So it's taking place, and we're getting to learn about it as we experience it. And I've been thinking about this concept the last few days. So there you go, I've got my 7 chakras, there you go, on my halo. As you know, I've spoken a lot about the matrix and the simulation. Hey Karen. And I've been thinking about this concept of what is the matrix, what is the simulation, and is it an illusion? At some level it is, and is it hell? One way to describe it, is it hell? And I've thought this before. Part of the reason for that is things die here. Hey Diane, same to you. Things die, don't they? Or they have been. I think that's coming to an end as well. But things die in this realm, and that's really kind of an unnatural state of affairs if you think about it. And you have the cycles, the kind of karmic loops of even the seasons, you know, death and then rebirth, death, rebirth, constant. And I think part of the awakening is for us to break that loop, to get out of it. And then it's like, well, what is it? Is it hell? And I've heard others say it as well. And I saw something recently that there's levels to hell. I was like, okay. And some numbers on it. Hell is 37 in numbers. The word dome is 37 in numbers, and so if we're the firmament, kind of points towards a dome, and then the dome would be a sealed unit, quarantined, meaning nothing gets in or nothing gets out, and there's kind of just this biosphere, this loop, this consciousness biosphere that just keeps recycling all the time. And then I was thinking, well, how many levels are there? And I've said for a while that 888 is the number that breaks the matrix, completes the matrix. And if you divide the word hell 37 divide 888 by 37, you get 24. And I was like, that's very interesting. You get 24 hours in the day. 24 is X. X marks the spot. You've got all the X coins. You've got Twitter is X. The election happened on X, and X is a mark in the sand. And somehow that feels like that's the point of where things are reversing back. We did have 2020, which I also feel that was part of it as well. It was. Maybe it was XX. Maybe. And even X with the DNA. And also the thing of loyalty. So if we're ascending through, let's say is it Dante's Inferno? I'm not really that au fait on a lot of the kind of mythology of stuff, but maybe I have to start looking at it. Even the F1 film is a mythology on escaping hell, because they're in pit 37, and Sonny Hayes comes in and says, "Hey, Zeus." So that's like a kind of mythology thing, and then they mention hell a few times, but eventually he escapes. He gets out. He gets out because he basically is willing to do whatever it takes, and he's also loyal. So there's a point in the film where he's tested. The guy that brought him into F1, his friend for a long time, and they loved each other like brothers. He was tested by the serpent, effectively. There's a serpent character in the film, and then it's almost like the gods looking up from an amphitheatre and watching them try and do what they've got to do to win the race and escape. But he passed the test because he was loyal. And President Trump has spoken about loyalty before. I've spoken about it before. And loyalty is a massive thing. And I think to ascend fully, we have to be loyal. I can't see how, if people aren't loyal, how they can ascend. That's my own personal take on it. But I see it, and sometimes I am disappointed when I see people's level of loyalty. You can't be disloyal and ascend, I don't think, in my opinion. And it's something that people, I think, need to look at. President Trump has said it, and I'm loyal to people, and it's not easy to take when you see people not loyal to you. And when people have done things and given people a leg up, and it's not a reciprocal kind of transaction, we'll call it that. It's not a reciprocal transaction, and they've done far more for the other person, and then the other person is disloyal to them. I think that's a real travesty. But it's also, and the one doing it, I don't think they realise, because they're kind of oblivious to it. They don't have the conscious intellect to realise not to do that in the first place. I think that harms them. It's not nice to be on the recipient of it, but I think in terms of this whole thing of, if we're in hell, getting out of it, ascending, returning to source, if you're not loyal, I think that's a major hurdle. I think that's almost a stopgap. I think that can be the thing that maybe keeps people back. So the Ascension, since 2020, we've had a lot of time to look at ourselves, and I can't speak for other people, but loyalty, as President Trump has said, is it's a massive thing. And unfortunately, you see it. You see people, you give enough rope, and you see how loyal or disloyal they are, and it's a shame, because you can only see what you initially projected yourself in other people, and only through hard experience you realise they're not the same. Not everyone, but a lot are, unfortunately. So anyway, that came to me tonight, so I wanted to share that with you. Thanks, Diane. And you are loyal, so you're a prime example of loyalty, and so thank you for that. But it's, people have to be loyal. I've always thought it was a strange one when people aren't, but I see it more and more, unfortunately. But the ones that are loyal are the ones that ascend, the ones that they get out of hell. For whatever reason we're here in the first place. Brilliant, thanks. And 45 is 126, John Connor 126. For whatever reason we're here in the first place, we're ascending, we wanted to get out of this place, or upgrade it. That's also getting out of it. But loyalty is a key to it. It's a major thing. It's a major thing. And in the film, it's a wonderful depiction. And the reason he wins and ascends and escapes hell is because he was loyal to those that were loyal to him. It's not a difficult thing to do. It blows my mind. Even people that think they're awake and they're not loyal, and it's like, I don't understand it. But anyway, I guess maybe they've got time to realise it and change it. But I think that's a massive anchor. If people aren't loyal, I think it's one of the things that will tether them here. Do you want to be tethered in this realm forever? If that's, the system might upgrade. But it also might be that we just depart. I don't know. It could be the both. It could be something else in between. But disloyalty tethers you. It's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Loyalty is a great thing, and I think it's one of the character traits of God's favoured ones. If you're loyal. Thanks, Kelly. I like these numbers. Anyway, I felt like I should share that with you tonight. So, yeah. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow, and we'll be on number 183, and that's a very important number, and I'll share that with you tomorrow. So, all right, folks, much love. God bless. Thank you for your loyalty and support. I want to thank you for you, ladies and gents, that have been with me since the beginning, or since you've come across me and have been with me from that point on. So I thank you for that. We keep going. All right. Thanks, Karen. Much love. God bless, folks. Take